Okay, so once you are done with sales and purchase everything, we're going to go for report. So report, you have trial balance, income statement, and financial positions. But before we go on with preparing all this, you have to prepare another two things. One we call it data page. That's the consolidation of all your information into one page. Second is general ledger. General ledger, not journal. General ledger is for you to see what is the transactions that you have in particular accounts. In this account, do you have any transactions or not? If no transactions, then yes, maybe that's all. But if you have any transaction, you need to see what is the transactions going on. Okay, so let's look at this. The first one, data page. Now, in your data page, okay, you don't have this here, so you have to create. This one we call it data page. Okay, now in your data page, we are going to use one function called vstick. Now, when you want to use vstick, you need to make sure all your table name, you know all your table name. Start from journal. What is the name of this table? Okay, this is 5. So if you don't want, you make it easier, we make it J. Okay, general journal. Okay, next is cash journal. What's the name of this table? You need to know. So cash journal. Okay, now sales, the name of the table. You need to have sales, and then sales return. Now purchase, I don't have it yet, but it's okay, we can just copy. Again, like what I say, this one you make sure you remember to change it to P if this is purchase. If this is purchase return, you make sure you change it to purchase return, PR. Okay, so it will change. So now same thing, you have to check what is their name. So you make it easier, this is PR. And this one, change it to P, purchase. So in total, if you look at this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. 6 table to combine. Okay, so this one, vstick is to combine a few table. So what is the table we have? We have general journal. You can see here, you have this one. Okay, and then you have cash journal. We have sales return, purchase return. Okay, now you will see this thing. The first row is date, so you need to change the format. Okay, you need to change the format to date, and it will show the date. Now if this is very unclear to you, you don't know what is going on here, then you can just copy this and put it there. Okay, then you'll know what is this. Okay, of course here everything is the same because just now we did not change. You cannot change here. If you want to change, you have to go to this page to change it. For example, if this one we change to 6.1 and this one change it to, let's say, 1.4, then this is 999. Okay, so you look at this in your vstick, it will change automatically. Okay, yeah, in your data page, the informations, this is the consolidated, or we say the combination of all your journal. Okay, then next thing is we need to check the double entry, opening and closing double entry. We need to know how much you have in year end because we are preparing trial balance. So we need to know how much you have in your year end. So next thing is we need to know your opening balance. So again, we can use vstick. Okay, what is the page we want to know is opening balance. So from here, we want to know how much you have in your opening balance. Now bear in mind, if your opening balance, if your opening balance is not balanced, right? Here, this one is not balanced like this. When you prepare your trial balance, everything, you will have error. So is make sure you have this also in somewhere in your credit to make sure you balance your accounts. If not, forever when you prepare your trial balance, everything forever you will not be balanced. So this is your opening balance. Okay. Now this is for your own reference, so that you know what is this. Okay. Now what's the next steps? Here is opening balance. The next step we are trying to do is we need to know this year how many transactions we have go through. So you need to check what is the transactions that I have go through in here, in each account. For example, cash, my opening balance is 900. This year I spent how much of cash? So you need to check in here. Of course, our transaction is not so clear yet. We have not properly set it up, but let's try to change this one to 110. Okay, send it to petty cash. For example, this petty cash, this one. Okay, so now what are we going to do? If you look at this, what is the expectations that we want to have is this here. We want to see how much is your total debit, and we want to see how much is your total credit. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Of course, it's still debit and credit. So what is this two column is basically for the changes, increase or decrease in the year. Okay, increase or decrease during this year. Okay, so your formula is sum if. Okay, sum if this, we want to check this range. Okay, we want to check, follow the account code. If this range, the code is the same. This code, if you look at this column, is 1110. So you click this one. If it is the same, then I will sum range. I will total up the debit. Okay, none. So if you look at here, I only total up the debit. Yeah, only this one, electric. Okay, 6120, we have 999. If you look at this debit, purchase of furnitures, finished goods, right? What we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we should have a 4,000 here. This is 5110. So in here, you have 4,000. So they will help you to total up automatically. So after we have done with debit side, we also have to do it on credit side. If you just drag like this, right, there will be an error. You have to see, if you just drag like this, if you just copy, drag it here, there will error. You look at what is the error. Look at this one. You look at this one. This is on C and E and on the code. But if you look at here, everything move one column. So if you want to drag, you make sure you move it back. But this one, credit is correct, but this have to put back. Okay, so what it means, sum if in column C, the title is same with 1110, then I want to total up credit. Okay, so until just do this. Do the same thing. Now next year, okay, next thing is here. We need to know how much is our closing balance. This is opening balance, right? Now we need to know how much is our closing balance. So when we want to know this, it will look like here, closing balance. Okay, closing balance. So you can use two functions. One is if functions. Okay, what is this means? I'll show you here. Okay, this is closing. So the formula means, okay, the formula means if not if, is. You see with the S, right? It means that more than one condition. Okay, so the condition is if this is debit equals to debit, Okay, then my formula will be opening debit plus debit minus credit. Okay or not? Correct? You get it? Debit opening account, then all the debit is plus, right? Minus credit. Okay. Second. Okay. If this is done, then we go to the second logical test. If this is equals to credit, it can be debit, it can be credit, right? So if it is credit, then what should we do? RB equals to credit plus credit, not yet, plus credit plus, where are we? Okay, logical test N9, this one, plus credit and minus debit. Are you okay? So you should have this closing balance. So you can see here. Now some of it you will see error. Why error? Because this side no debit, no credit. This is a title. A title, so no debit, no credit. So you'll see error. So in order to, you don't want to see all this error, you can put one more formula called if error. If error, if value is true, then you show this. But if the value is wrong, then we show nothing. Okay? Then you will see this is like this. So you just highlight. You will not be able to, you won't be seeing error anymore. Okay or not, guys? Okay, so this is for data page. So once you have the data page, then you can start to prepare your trial balance. Okay.